right, we are going to be playing Falco Marth, and we're going to be making sure that we are really looking to pressure this Marth, and we're seeing a lot of rolls come out from this player. So what do these rolls mean? So the rolls mean that the Marth doesn't want to stay in shield, which makes sense, right? Marth doesn't have the greatest in-shield options. Oops, a little bit too far away. I'm going to push the Marth this way. Oh. Well, being a little bit greedy with some of my approaches to try and go in there, but that's okay. I'm showing you that. Whoa. Showing you what it's like to aggro Marth without lasers out. So we are letting Marth back on stage and letting his double jump refresh, but I just want to show you what the loop looks like. Oh, didn't think he'd do that. Oh, we're not getting any rolls anymore from this person. Are you noticing that? Could have been a tech skill error. Didn't think that would happen, admittedly. Just kind of trying to mess with the Marth with some forward air there. You can see they wanted to grab. Push the Marth up and out. We're always trying to back here. Jab does link into down air if they hold in, even at such a high percent. Oops. Oh, my waveland was a little too good. So as you can see right there, when I got a little bit reckless and I rushed the Marth, I got punished. But when I stayed diligent and I kept my lasers out, I was in an alright spot. Well, that was good. And look at how this person really wanting to get that kill. So it's hard to commentate so much on this level because oh, I thought I was gonna kill. It's counter? Nope. That was good. So a lot of Marths would counter right there, try and catch me out. Do another nair right there, just in case. And unfortunately, because they were high, had no double jump, laser forward smash going to work a lot better there. Oops. Whoa, bounced him off the wall. Notice how low you can go and hit him and still recover. So, what was the issue there? This person was getting on platforms to avoid my lasers, so what was I starting to do? Just calling them out. Now at Final Destination, they weren't full hopping to avoid my lasers so much, and so what they did was they really wanted to get around it. They didn't like the pressure. Normally they were rolling in the beginning, and then you saw how that changed. And then what were they doing? They were kind of letting me come in. They were wave dashing back. They were taking their time. Some Marths power shield, some Marths take laser jab and take laser dash back. This Marth was shielding, wave dashing back, really taking their time. And so I needed to take my time in response, and you saw how things changed when I did. Then the Marth wanted to use platforms, and that was working pretty well, but as soon as I started calling that out, you could see that was a little bit frustrating. And on Yoshi's story, Falco's back air actually can hit the ground, so I could have just played a little bit safer and hit the Marth out of the platform, off the platform there. But I chose instead to shine because I was more certain that would happen, and then that could bring the Marth higher up to get me more damage than if I just go for back air overall. But you can kind of see how it worked, right? I let the Marth land on the stage and I loop and push them back off, or I let them try to come in to avoid getting looped off the stage, like when we were on Yoshi's and they tried to come in. Laser forward smash is going to work even if Marth does get his forward air out in time. That can be an okay trade. You can see how that can still kill. Sometimes people won't DI at the best because they're still holding down. So what can we kind of learn from this? We can learn that Falco's laser is really good at limiting Marth. We can learn keeping Marth in the air, working our back air is going to be great. You saw that there were some times where I tried to go for a combo where I couldn't because the Marth was going to be able to DI out. So what did I do instead? I just pushed the Marth out. Now again, as long as we're pushing the Marth out, then we can always threaten to push him out more. He has to drift farther away when he's off stage. That lets us have an easier edge guard, and you can see how this sort of can all come together. Anyway, let's see. Is there anything else I really want to talk about? I think you can kind of tell that the Marth really wanted to kind of like hit me with something like a forward air and then rush in for grab. I think this is very common for a lot of Marths. And so I would sometimes just jab the Marth. You saw that on Yoshi's story a little bit. I would just jab the Marth. And so if you get hit, don't always panic and just freeze up and shield as Falco and assume it's over. There's often something you can kind of do, especially at low percent, to try and get out. Try and DI away. Try and put out a jab, forward tilt, turn around, up tilt. Just dash. Sometimes that can be enough to dodge a hit. You never know. Anyway, GG's to Taco Bell Eater, and hopefully you guys thought this Marth Falco game was interesting. All right, we are going to be playing Falco Falcon, and we're going to notice something important. Falcon just moved over my laser. Whoa, that was good. And you notice I can go out with my down air, and I'm still fine. Try to push Falcon off the stage. This guy will not run at me. And push him off the stage. So notice that Falcon is really good at Falcon's really good at just kind of dodging my moves kind of barely. And he's also going to be really good at double jumping to edge, right? So he curls up into a little ball. So when we have to hit him, we have to really call him out, right? But Falcon is not so great out of shield. You see that, right? So we have to go really low. You saw how low we had to go in order to down air the Falcon. And because the Falcon is SDIing up, we can't just do down air shine repeatedly, right? So we have to make sure that we're trying to push the Falcon somewhere. That way we can trip him up. Notice that this is going to beat everything Falcon can do right here. That back air I do. Up tilt also can do it. So make sure back air up tilt is going to be great at beating out Falcon's moves. He will be trying to bait these things out pretty often. Whoa, that was really good. But you saw right there, that actually beat my approaching nair. Well, that was good. But unfortunately, my percent was a little bit too low. So Falcon took my laser and jabbed me, right? Falcon's jab comes out pretty quickly and it's pretty strong. So Falcon's going high, so we don't need to keep lasering, right? There's our up tilt. And so yeah, you can kind of see that Falcon had to kind of catch out my startup there to get the punish. Falcon turning into a little ball is going to help him out so much. And because they DI it out, the forwarder is going to be able to get the kill. You can see how strong, right? How strong it is to just do weak back air at higher percents, because people are expecting you to try and hit them with something that's going to send them off stage or even down air, so they really don't want to DI out. So we can use that to our advantage with weak back air right there, because it ends kind of early and gives us a chance to do things like forward air right there. So again, on Final Destination, we saw that Falcon had no choice but to deal with our lasers. Now again, lasers are a projectile. It's going to cover a space in front of Falco. It could be higher or lower depending on how Falco shoots it, but it's going to be in front of him. For Falcon, this is tough because he mostly has the explosive movement forward. And so him not having that means he either has to hope Falco shoots a lower laser or even a mid-height and use his neutral air to go over it, or let the Falco laser hit him and then dodge, or use something like a jab to counterattack. On Fountain of Dreams, he also has access to platforms, which you saw him use a lot. And how did I counter that? I full hopped and back aired and occasionally nared. Just put the damage on Falcon. You don't always have to try and go for a big combo starter. If you can hit Falcon safely and put the damage on him, that can be great, because that means it's going to be that much easier to combo him later, especially at low percent. So don't always try to rush things against these players. That being said, we pushed the Falcon up. We made sure we didn't try to down air shine for too long on Final Destination, because that would have gotten us in trouble. And so we pushed them off the stage, and that was going to be good for us. And then on Fountain of Dreams, we would put Falcon on a platform, tech chase in a certain way if we needed to, push him out. But in both cases, we could push Falcon up, back air him off, and then get him out of here. And you could also see how hard it was to edge guard Falcon when he double jumps close to edge. That's what makes Falcon kind of hard to kill. But you can still cover that with running off double jump down airing, excuse me. You can grab the edge, and you can also run off shine down air, but of course Falcon can DI onto stage and live that. So make sure that you are mixing up your options well to keep Falcon guessing too, because otherwise he can always just double jump aerial, and if you're at high percent, you could get reversaled by the edge, and you don't want that. So again, Falcon's high speed means you can't just wait too long with your lasers. So make sure that you're using some, but you're also using varying heights, usually middle and high lasers, to beat Falcon's aerials, and to give in middle lasers to give you a little more frame advantage. Lower laser when it hits the ground means you can move a little bit sooner. So you want to make the most of your frame advantage from laser too, and not just stopping Falcon from doing things. Because if you shoot a really high laser and you stop Falcon, but then you kind of both land about the same time, it's kind of awkward. No one really has advantage, so it's kind of weird. So just making sure that you kind of keep in mind various ways lasers and things interact with your opponent, how Falcon can contort his body a little bit to get around that, and the various counters he has, and of course using back air when they're in the air. So hopefully you guys thought some of this stuff was pretty interesting, and of course GG's to my opponent Elm.